we want to solve this equation, and I know just looking at it, it seems kind of daunting because there's a lot going on here. But really, we just want to rewrite it using our sum formula for cosine, then our difference formula for cosine, and we're going to simplify it, and it's going to turn out fine. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So when I take cosine of pi over 3 plus x, I know this is cosine of pi over 3 cosine of x minus sine of pi over 3 sine of x. So I just rewrote that. Now I'm also going to rewrite this over here. This is cosine of pi over 3 cosine of x plus sine of pi over 3 sine of x. So that is using my cosine sum and cosine difference identity there, and now I can start to simplify these things. I know cosine of pi over 3 is a half cosine of x. Here, sine of pi over 3 is root 3 over 2 sine of x. Plus, cosine of pi over 3, once again, is 1/2 cosine of x. Over here, I have plus the square root of 3 over 2 sine of x. Now notice how I'm adding all these together, so I really can think of this just dropping my brackets or my parentheses or whatever you want to have drawn. And notice we have a negative root 3 over 2 sine of x and a positive root 3 over 2 sine of x. These are adding together to get 0. And so I really have 1/2 cosine of x plus 1/2 cosine of x. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1 cosine of x equals 1/2. Whew, how quickly that all just became something so tangibly simple. And we know what cosine values give us 1/2. We know, right? Because we're looking in 0 to pi over 2. There's on our unit circle, there's 2 times we get 1/2. One of them we've already been using, it's pi over 3. The other one, in that fourth quadrant, 5 pi over 3. And so those are 2 values, and they do actually work. I want to show you can check in your calculator. You can type in, look at the original equation up there on the board, and then take a look at my calculator there. That is how I typed it into my calculator. On one side, of the right side, it equals 1/2, so I put that on a separate line. But then the left side, was that. That's what it looks like up there. And I typed it into my calculator to look like this. Yeah. And when I graph this, and if you actually look at those values, that one's pi over 3 over here, that is 5 pi over 3. And so you can actually check that. You can find those intersections, look at those decimals, and you can confirm for yourself these two do indeed work. That's our solution set.